Dauntless Stark.
Hello everybody, welcome back to something a little different. So, big yawn. I am doing this straight out of bed. It's early for me. It's around like 9 o'clock. I work nights, so I don't normally get up this early, but I had a pretty good rest, so I figured that instead of doing this on stream, I might as well just do it now. It's still going out the same day, but I just figured I wanted to get on top of it early in the morning. All my kind of like my thoughts are kind of the same. But we're going to be doing Game of the Year votes. Now, there's been a lot of contention with a lot of the nominees. We'll get into it as we keep going in, basically. Now, unfortunately, though, the first two we're going to have to skip because I don't know anything about esports, nor the participants of esports. I don't follow it. I know, like, the League of Legends team, that's about it. I don't really know anything else, you know, so I'm not just gonna like blindly vote for Faker. As for the best esports game, I'm going to keep it very real. Granted, I do follow League of Legends, not like religiously, but I don't see anything on Valorant, Bang Bang. I've never even heard of this game, if I'm being honest with you. I don't hear anything about Dota 2, and I don't hear anything about CS2. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you if they even had a championship this year. But League, though, League is really heavily advertised, and League is really heavily like a big fucking like event, so it has to be League. I'm sorry. Yeah, I want to keep voting. Stop. Content Creator of the Year. Again, I'm going to keep it completely real with you guys. I don't know who you are, and you are. No offense to any of these people. I think they're all streamers. I don't really follow Twitch community that much. I don't really watch a lot of the people on Twitch. I'm a YouTube boy at heart. I don't know who Yasada Pecora is, Typical Gamer, Techno, or Ilawan, I think his name is. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But I do know Queso. I've seen a lot of Queso clips, and Queso seems like he's a pretty genuine guy. He falls into the self-degradation meme a little too much, I'd say. But at the same time, though, that's his shtick, and people like that shtick, and people like him. I can't really fault him for that at all. So to me, it's got to go to Queso. Can this stop? Can I just, please, just continue normally? Anticipated game. So this was weird, and to me, this one's obvious, but I kind of know the winner. So Death Stranding 2. I don't know if anyone really is raving about, oh my god, I can't wait for the sequel of that game. I don't see it a lot. I'm gonna keep it real. I know the first one was like pretty divisive, but then pretty fucking good. Cool. Never played it. I have it. I own it. I don't know if I'll play it though, if I'm gonna keep it real. But I don't know if people are really excited for the sequel as much as some of the other games. Ghost of Yotai, same thing. It looks pretty good. People are bitching about it because she's a fucking woman. Oh my god, what are we gonna do? It's typical. Now, the winner is probably going to be Grand Theft Auto 6, if I'm being honest, because GTA 5 lasted like 9 years, and people still play it somehow, and still have fun playing it, so, and people are going to be raving about GTA 6. It's not a game for me, never has been. I'm not a huge fan of most Rockstar games in general. I got my own problems with how they make games, but that's a me thing, that's not an objective thing. Metroid Prime 4 is a game that has been, I don't know, in everyone's pre-order since fucking like the end of time. It feels like this game has been announced. The game was announced like 7 years ago. Is it still real at this point? Well, no. I mean, it's anticipated with an asterisk next to it. But the more realistic one is obviously, I'm not gonna vote for anything else other than fucking, other than Wilds. Come on, man. Wilds is gonna be a crazy game. Best adaptation. So I actually have seen 3 of these. I have not seen the Tomb Raider one, even though I think this just came out. I'm also not a big Tomb Raider fan in general, so I don't really care about Lara Croft as a character most of the time. Like a Dragon Yakuza, I know the game. I didn't even know they made a show, if I'm being honest. So I can't tell. I didn't see Knuckles, but I've seen enough of Knuckles to know that it's pretty good. It's on par with the Sonic games. I don't think it follows any like Knuckles lore or anything. So best adaptation. I mean, it does the character somewhat justice, even though Knuckles is like not like insanely smart like Tails is, but he's not like dumb like they kind of made him in Knuckles, like how they made him in like Sonic 2. So I don't know if that's best adaptation. Arcane, they kind of just did their own thing, and now the Arcane lore is now the canonical lore. So they didn't really do a good adaptation when the show is better than the original context of like the stories in the canon or whatever. It's kind of the other way around. Technically League of Legends is the better adaptation of Arcane at that point. So the best adaptation is Fallout, because Fallout follows like 90% of the in-game, already pre-established lore, and it runs with it fairly well. So Fallout is definitely going to be the winner here. Best multiplayer. I am not really a multiplayer guy. I'm going to keep it real. I don't have a ton of fun playing multiplayer most of the time. But it's not going to be Black Ops, because they make the same game every fucking year. I don't care how good it feels. It's $80 for the last game, but with maybe an extra gun in it. Like, no, I'm good. Mario Party Jamboree. Mario Party's only fun for like an hour until you play like a game, and then you want to wait for the next Mario Party. It's the same thing as Call of Duty. It's not really that exciting to me. Tekken 8 I know is fairly well in the fighting game community. I wouldn't call it a multiplayer game, even though that is like what most fighting games are. So I don't know. It's fun, but again, is it what I would think would win? No. And then Warhammer 2 is like, it's essentially like another Gears game, which it's fun to play alone, but it's not intended to play alone. Not like Helldivers is. Now, Helldivers is a really game that has fallen from grace, and it's through no fault of the developers, as far as I can tell. It's the publishing company that completely fucking neutered this game. But at the same time, though, when the game had highs, it was untouchable in terms of popularity. Everyone and their fucking mother was playing Helldivers 2. I was the exception. I wanted to play it. I just didn't have enough funds to purchase it at that time. But at this point, no, I think it's kind of a lost cause. I'm not really gonna start playing it or anything. But no, Helldivers 2, I think, should win this, even though it's just gonna prove to Sony that it should. That no matter what they do, their actions are always vindicated, and that's a little disappointing. Best sports or racing game. I'm going to respectfully pass. I don't know enough about any of these games, nor do I care about any of these games to really make a statement. Best sim or strategy. Okay, so Age of Mythology, I heard was really, really good. Frostpunk 2, I heard was really, really good. Path of the Goddess, I heard was really, really weird, but good. Manor Lords, I've seen like 2 things on Manor Lords, and it looked neat. And Unicorn Overlord is a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, but it's on the Switch, and I'm heavily debating if I still want to play things on the Switch, but it does look very, very good. So, if I was to be subjective, as in my opinion, I'd probably want Unicorn to win. If I was objective, as in what I think would win outside of my opinion, I think it goes to Frostpunk 2. Just because the sheer level of advancement from the first game it had, while keeping the same magic of the first one. So I think that's really rare. Best family game. I don't have a family, so I can't really say. Do I think it's the Plucky Squire? No. Do I think it's Legend of Zelda? No. Mario Party? No. Mario Party is going to destroy a family. It's like Monopoly, man. You make enemies with that game. Princess Peach Showtime? Didn't know that game was I didn't know that game existed. I think I saw a trailer for it once, and then I forgot about it, but no, it's Astrobot. Because even adults like Astrobot, with like all the references to like God of War, Bloodborne, like every IP in the PlayStation family, everyone of all ages can legitimately enjoy Astrobot, including children. So to me, it has to be Astrobot for best family game. Like, if it's going to win anything, it's going to win this. Best fighting game. Now, I don't play fighting games personally, but I do follow fighting games quite much. I watch like Maximilian Dude and shit like that. And they primarily play fighting games, which it's fun to watch someone who's good, but it's terrible to play in my opinion. I don't really like playing them, but I like watching them, and they're pretty cool. But there's some contention here. This is where the first contention is. You know, Multiverses was, I think, in last year's Game of the Year, but it was in its beta form. So why are we counting the beta form? Well, to me, I think it counts because they kind of rebuilt the game from the ground up. They used the beta as like a bedrock foundation, and then they changed everything about it. They added voice lines, they added supers, they added a bunch of stages, they changed the concept of the entire game. To me, it's not the same game. To me, the beta felt like a beta, but this feels like a full game. To me, I think it's justified in this one situational scenario. Yep. Obviously, MVC Fighting Collection is because they're 20-year-old games that got a remaster in a bundle, right? Does that really count? It depends. You know, there is a lot of historical significance to this game, by the way. For those who do not know, this is the first time in like legitimately like 20 years you can play these games. Capcom kind of had like a noose around this franchise for a long time, outside of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Marvel vs. Capcom 3. If you wanted to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or down, you couldn't. You would have to emulate it. They made it impossible to play, basically. So this is rather significant historically, I'd say, and people do buy it a lot. Granblue, I know nothing about. Sparking Zero is good. At the same time, though, for best, we can't really say it because objectively, despite how good the game is, I'm not saying it's not good, the player base did fall off after like a week or so of playing it. Rather, it lost something like 65% of its player base in like a week. So I don't really know how good it can be, other than it just looking like a fantastic couch game. So I don't really know what the objective winner here. Probably Tekken 8 would probably win, but what I would like to see is I want to see MVC. This is what I want to see, honestly. I think this is going to win it. I really do. People adore this fucking game. It looks great. From what I've been told, it plays like butter. But this is what I personally want to win. And for what I'm doing for voting is I'm kind of mixing the two together, and I'm trying to see if it realistically fits the mold. So this one is exactly something that I'm going to go against the grain, because there is one winner here that I want to win, even though I probably know it's not going to win. And I think we all can agree. I think we all kind of know what's going to happen here. So Metaphor ReFantasio. I have it. I've been trying to find time to play it. I don't have time. I just got a new job for those. As of recording, I just got a new job, so I'm kind of working on that. So content creation's taking a little bit of a sidestep. However, I really want to play it. I don't know when. Probably after Dragon Quest, because we started that on stream, and I've been having such a blast with it. But yeah, I do want to play this game. I do have access to play it. I cannot wait to sink my teeth into it. I've heard it's great, maybe a little problematic. I don't really know. I have not looked into it. I don't want spoilers. I want to experience the game all on my own. But really great. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I played Like a Dragon. Honestly, I didn't know. Sorry for the voice crack there. I wasn't expecting Infinite Wealth to be like an expansion. I thought it'd be like an extra like 5-hour DLC. I don't know how intensive it is. I haven't really seen anything on it, if I'm being honest. I don't really know how crazy it is. People seem to like really, really like it. I don't know if it's going to win, guys. Rebirth. So this is where contention comes into play for me. I don't know if RPG role-playing game fits Final Fantasy Rebirth. I don't know if it does. It's an action game, for sure. But if I'm being honest, it feels like Devil May Cry, but you can have a stat menu that you equip equipment on. But that's it. Yes, there's a little bit of open worldness, but it's, for the most part, it's kind of empty. And, only stuff really happens when you follow the story or you follow a side quest, kind of like in DMC. So I don't know if I would put this here. It's probably going to win. There's two objective juggernauts, but I don't know if this is going to win Best RPG. I don't know if this belongs in RPG. Now, Shadow of the Erdtree, ever big contention, but at the same time, no one's really bitching about Infinite Wealth, which is an expansion / DLC, and Shadow of the Erdtree is an expansion / DLC, which, is it as long as the base game? No. Is it as intensive as the base game? Probably more so. It adds a lot more bullshit. It adds a lot more stuff to it, to be fair. I had a lot of fun playing it. I don't really have any interest in playing it again though, anytime soon. I don't. I'm not bushy or a little aggy. I don't want to make my entire content library existence purely just Shadow of the Erdtree shit from now on. It's good DLC. It doesn't really answer a lot of the lore questions, which I think a lot of us really wanted, but that's just Miyazaki for you. He doesn't like to answer shit. Is it good? Absolutely. Is it going to win? Probably. It's either this or Final Fantasy. Probably Final Fantasy if I had to be honest, because I think a lot of contention here, people probably don't want to vote for this because it's a DLC only. And so it's not like the base game. Also, people kind of bitch because Elden Ring did win Game of the Year, but like, they added like, it's like Iceborne, man. There's more content here than the base game. It's just not as big. It's all condensed down, so you just experience it faster. But Dragon's Dogma 2, yes, let's get out of the way, it did have problems at launch. I had problems with Dragon's Dogma at launch. No one's shocked there, right? They kind of screwed the pooch there. But I think, Capcom isn't known for doing that. I think they made a mistake. I think that they put too much pressure on themselves for Dragon's Dogma 2. It had been like 12 years since the first one. I think even more, maybe 15. But when I was able to play it properly, even this is before all the optimization patches, which the game runs very well now. This game was a blast to play. The story did fall off, but I know it's flawed. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece. I'm saying that every opportunity they have to improve it is still on the table. Capcom is known to having massive fucking expansions. Look at Monster Hunter series, for example. Monster Hunter World had Iceborne, an expansion that had more content, legitimately more content than the base game did. Monster Hunter Rise had Sunbreak, which I never really played Rise, don't really like Rise that much, but I heard people really fucking liked Sunbreak. And then Wilds is coming out, which is bigger and better than ever. So Dragon's Dogma it still has on the table the opportunity to have an insane fucking DLC. And also, if you look back to the first Dragon's Dogma, the DLC to that made the game like the masterpiece it is. Because base Dragon's Dogma wasn't kind of great. It had fun combat, but it was really empty. Kind of like Dragon's Dogma 2. It kind of just needs a DLC to add more shit to it. Especially in the post game that people really want to play. I think the potential there is there. I know it's not going to win. This is breaking the rule. Normally I would vote for one of these two, but I got to give it to my boy. I have to give it to what I personally think is one of my most anticipated and favorite games of the year, despite I know it being flawed. Okay, just rip that band-aid off. Action Adventure. Okay, this is contentious because I don't think any of these are gonna win. This I don't think is gonna win. People fucking hate this game. This game's not gonna win. I heard it was a good game. I wouldn't necessarily call it an action adventure. It's not as actiony as like a Resident Evil game. It has gunplay, but it's a suspense action game. I heard this game was really good, but a lot of people didn't play it / beat it. So I think it's gonna go to Astropod. I don't have really a lot to say here because I don't know. I don't care about playing. 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 But everyone kept raving about this game, so I think that's a clear winner. Best action game. Here we go. So we have God of War 2.0, Sexy Bayonetta 2.0, the game that Sony killed, no one cares about, and the obvious winner, for being honest. Okay, so Warhammer 40k is a great game. Was it as stellar as people wanted it to be? Probably, maybe so, right? But the game is like 6 hours, honestly, right? And then there's multiplayer, but people don't really give a fuck about the multiplayer. Stellar Blade, a lot of contention for female design. I don't really care. I don't really have a foot in that race. I didn't really think the game necessarily looked like it was for me anyway, so I never really played it. I don't know anything about it. I heard it was pretty good, but I heard it was like not like the best. I don't really fucking know. Helldivers 2, I kind of said it before. I think it's going to win Best Multiplayer. I do not think it's going to win Best Action Game, again, because the devs... in this part, I think the devs keep doing it, because the devs neuter everything that feels fun. What I've heard, if a gun is really strong, they kind of neuter it to the ground. They kind of want the Helldivers, the characters you play, to feel like a little bit weak all the time, so I don't really know. Black Ops is not going to win. It's going to be Black Myth Wukong for, like, the best... I don't really love comparing it to it, but like it's a Soulsborne. It's a Souls clone, except it's really, really good, and it's really, really faithful, and it's really, really stylish, and it's really, really crazy. Because everyone, when Black Myth Wukong came out first, as like the first demo, like 4 or 5 years ago, everyone thought it was a fucking tech demo. No one fucking thought it was real. They're like, oh no, this is just an engine demonstration. No, that was a game. Everyone thought it was fake, including me, until it actually became real, and it's like, holy shit. I have zero knowledge on VR, AR. I don't care. I never played one. I don't get like motion sickness. I just don't have any interest in playing VR. I don't have a foot in that race. Mobile game. So, I don't really know these people. These games, right? Zenless Zone. I have heard of it, know anything. Wuthering Waves, I've heard of it, know anything. Trading card game, I think that's cheating. I don't really know how intensive the gameplay is, but I also don't hear anyone playing. I get ads for it all the fucking time. Same thing with AFK Journey. I get ads all the fucking time for them. I don't know anyone alive that legitimately plays these games that have not been played into it. But I know people that play Balatrio, and I've never played it myself, but I know that people fucking cry and how good it is. Debut indie game. Never heard of. Maybe it's gonna be these two. So Plucky Squire, I don't know anything about this game. I've never heard of it, if I'm gonna keep it real. So, and for the record, I make it my job to keep as updated as I can on new good releases and shit that the gaming community as a whole has interest in, whether for better or for worse, right? A lot of the shit that I watch is like new, like gaming news, right? Updates in the community. What is going on, right? And Plucky Squire is, one of the games that just falls through the cracks. The gaming community is a massive fucking megalith endeavor. There's going to be cracks in the foundation somewhere, and games like this fall through it. I've never heard of it. Last year there was Cocoon. Never heard of Cocoon, and it won a pretty prestigious award, so I don't really know. Pacific Drive, I do know. I don't really know it extensively, but I know that it's a very pretty game. Same thing with Manor Lords. I know it's a very cool, intensive game. Animal Well, no one could shut the fuck up about this game when it came out. It's like intensive. It's like one of the best puzzle games ever made for the most part, because it's so in-depth. You got to go into the game code. You need to go to alternate sites to find keywords. Like they literally took like the dedication that like people love about FNAF, and they turned that passion into a video game, which is like holy shit, dude. It's insane. But it's Balatrio, because Balatrio is still getting updates to this day, and people are not shutting the fuck up about a roguelike poker game, which is all I know about it. I never really played Balatrio, but I know that people fucking love Balatrio. And okay, cool. I don't really like to play poker, so like, I don't love card games. There's only like 2 or 3 that I actually do enjoy. So I never really considered buying it, but people will not shut up about how good it is, So that was debut. This is best independent game. I never heard of UFO 50. I have heard of Neva. I heard it's pretty, but I haven't heard anything outside of that. Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, never heard of. I don't really know what this is, and so it's going to be these two again. And best debut, best ongoing, it's still going to be Balatrio, because again, there's still content for Balatrio. The game's still getting more shit added to it. Somehow. It's a clear winner. Community support. No. Okay, so community support. What is the definition of this? A game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, including a social media, updates, and patches. So first things off the bat, no. this game, through like no real fault of the devs, but this game hates its community. So much that it prevented a good chunk of it from playing it for a time. Just outright denying playing it. No, this game does not like your. This game does not love community. Baldur's Gate 3, great game. Not denying that. I don't know if it necessarily is open to its community. I don't think it's adding content. I don't think it's adding nerfs or buffs. I don't know anything about it having community support. If we're talking about mods, I don't think that counts, if I'm being honest, because that should just be like the bare minimum. So I don't think this is going to win best community support specifically. Best strategy game, sim, probably. You know, that's the whole game's bread and butter. But no, No Man's Sky I think is still getting updates. I think they just released somewhat recently, like a big update. But I don't know if that's part of the community's response, though, right? No Man's Sky is just kind of doing its own thing. I don't think it takes ideas from the community. I could be very wrong on that, but I don't know. You know, something doesn't feel right about No Man's Sky winning awards, maybe because it's like a 7-year-old game at this point. It feels. I think it's like around 5, 6, 7, around there. I don't know. I mean, it's great that more content is being added to it. I do want to eventually sink my teeth into it. I do own it, but I don't think it's going to win. Honestly, I don't even know if 15 is going to win. I don't really know anything about 14. Sorry, not 15. I don't really know anything about 14, but I think it goes to Fortnite, because Fortnite just adds any relatively successful mascot or character in media as a whole, and they just add it to Fortnite. Fortnite is becoming like media the game at this point. You want Rick and Morty to fight Kratos and Master Chief? You can do that. You could just do that. They have guns, but you can do that. Come on. Load. Load. Good lord. Best ongoing. Okay, no and no. No one has liked Diablo 4, period, right? Elon Musk is probably the only person that has legitimately enjoyed playing Diablo 4. Destiny 2, I don't know any positive video on Destiny 2, if I'm going to keep it real, so it's going to be the same thing again. Best ongoing, people are constantly upset with this game, dude. The constant nerfs and through all the patches they played, people don't really love playing it anymore. It's kind of getting old, so it's down to these two. So best ongoing, Fortnite has not had any diminished returns, and I don't know anything about 14. Games for Impact. Alright. Oh, there's a third one. So, okay. I only know Sensuous. I know of this game. It did not look necessarily good to me. I did not, watch it intensively. I just watched some of the gameplay, and it just looked like a Metroidvania. I know of Life is Strange, but I know nothing of Double Exposure. I know of Neva, but I just know that it looks pretty. Sensuous Hellblade was the only game here that I actually paid any attention to, and it was okay. I don't think I'm going to vote on anything here, because I don't know enough. Innovation in accessibility. Okay. Recognizing hardware, software, pushing the medium towards adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed in an even wider audience. I have not played any of these games, so I cannot vote on these. Best performance. Final Fantasy Rebirth. I really wish they told us the characters they played. Although Luke is really good. Brianna White I think she did Tifa? Did she do Tifa? I'm pretty sure. Where's my phone? It's in my pocket. Let's do a little armchair detective agency here. Hold on. Hold on. Final Fantasy. Rebirth. cast? Who did she voice? If she did Aerith or Tifa, I think it's probably going to her. That does not help. Brianna White, who did she cast? Aerith. So it's either the main protag of Silent Hill or it's Brianna White, which I think it's a toss-up between these two. And this is no shame to anyone else, but people do not like Outlaws. Life is Strange has been a meme. Life is Tumblr is like the meme it's been for forever. And Sensuous Saga is not a shitty game. It's like 2 hours though, which people really didn't like. I think it's gonna go to Brianna, if I'm being honest. I think it's gonna go to Brianna. Final Fantasy is just too big. Audio design. This, I think, honestly goes to these two. This had good audio. This had good music. But is music sound design? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Black Ops always sounds like guns, and Astrobot's okay. I think it goes to these two. I think it goes to Sensuous, because Sensuous is all about like hearing the whispers in the back of your ears and making it feel like you're actually going crazy and shit. Best score in music. Now this goes to Final fucking Fantasy. This game has like 1,000 fucking songs in it, all orchestrated. Shit. Best art. Okay, so best art design. So, but anyway, see, there was no contest at Final Fantasy 1 best music. Okay, no contest. Art direction. It's going to be these three. Because we're being honest, this is pretty traditional for Sony. Cute round thing, you know. Art direction, I don't know if it's anything. I don't know if it's not mind blowing. Okay. Neva is really cute. It's really cool. It's very like pastel colors. I don't know if it's going to beat these three. This is basically Persona on crack with how good it looks. Now, if we take this out, it's hyper realistic fantasy, but in different worlds. So, Elden Ring, along with Dark Souls, is more Western realism. You know, Western medieval realism. You know, your classic King of the Round, knight in shining armor, you know, design with big scary monsters and shit. While Black Myth Wukong is more Chinese mythology design wise. Now, here's the one technicality that I think that makes sense. Black Myth Wukong, most of the characters, including the main protagonist, are all pre-established characters. The chosen one, whatever the main character is called in the name, he's not Wukong, he's the destined one, right? That's this character's name. That's this character's name. He is entirely based off of Wukong, which as a character has been, you know, his design has been done like a bajillion times. So they kind of based everything off of pre-established stuff. I am not saying that's a bad thing at all, but when we're going for the best art direction, I think it only makes sense if you go through unique designs that are not entirely based off of anything. So I think this one just loses by a hair, and I think it's a toss-up between these two. And honestly, I think it goes to Metaphor, only because that we're judging the DLC alone for best design, and granted, like Midra, Bale, great designs. Mesmer, he's okay. He's just a gangly guy with a snake. That's and the final boss, not to spoil it, is a reused asset. Okay, if we're just being honest with ourselves. Metaphor is probably best because, as far as I can tell, the entire game is completely unique. Best narrative. Oh God, there's still 9 more to go. Good thing I did not do this on stream, because this would be the entire stream. Silent Hill 2 is all narrative. Sensuous all narrative. Don't know about you. The narrative isn't done yet, which is why I find it strange it's here, because this game is technically a filler for the third game. which is going to be like I don't know, remake, rebirth, reunion. I think if that's a theory, it's going to be reunion. I don't think it goes to here because it's the middle child. The story, I don't even know how it ends. If I'm going to keep it honest with you, I don't know if it's the second game in a trilogy, so it can't have like the best narrative it could possibly have. I don't know about any one of these, but I do know that Silent Hill 2 is pretty renowned for its story and for its twist ending, right? It kind of put Silent Hill on the map. I'm not happy with this because I don't know any of the games, dude. Best game direction, creative vision, and innovative game direction and design. This goes to Wukong because, for example, with all the clones and Wukong has, making that one ability alone would have been a nightmare. They had to do so much technical shit to get all of Wukong, like all of his transformations, all of his abilities, to be not only accurate to the lore and the mythology of Wukong, but to be properly implemented into the game itself. And I think that's insane. Now, I think the second winner obviously was Belatrio because, again, they're still adding content to the game. The game's not going to end. Astrobot, from what I can tell, is kind of a one-trick pony. It's just you go here, you find cool Easter egg, and you do a platforming and you win. It's not really good game direction. It's kind of like the same thing over and over again, but it's fun, which is why it doesn't get tiring. Erdtree, again, it's just the same gameplay-wise. It's the same thing. You go there, you have your whatever build you have, you smack the enemy until either you die or the boss dies, and then you can maybe get new gear. It's the same thing. And then with Rebirth, yes, you have different abilities, and you get maybe a different party member here or there, but for the most part, you have your entire team that you have in the beginning of the game to the end of the game, with like minor exceptions maybe here or there. But at the same time, though, this is probably the best progressive system in a game, period, you know? And here we are at Game of the Year. So, hot topic, right? I don't think this is going to win. I don't. I think it's amazing. I don't know if it's going to win. I would be surprised if it won, let's put it that way. I think the winner is going to be any one of the other four. I don't think Wukong is. Only because, and this is really shitty, it had a lot of negative press about it. Now, that negative press was bullshit. That negative press was not great. However, I don't think Wukong is going to win because a lot of people were deterred away from it because of that. Unjustifiably so, I'm well aware. But it doesn't change the fact that people probably do not want to play the game because I had a lot of really weird articles about it saying X and Y, right? Astrobot, I don't think will win. It is a great little game to play with the family, but outside of the Easter eggs, I don't think that people really care about the game as of now anymore. I'm sure the game is a fun game to play, but people are not talking about it still. A Game of the Year is a game that people still talk about well after it's been released. I think that's fair. So that either leaves Belatrio or Rebirth. But Rebirth, I think, technically cheats here, again, because it's the middle child in a trilogy. People are still talking about it because there's still going to be an entirely whole new ass game coming out that takes place after it. While Belatrio isn't going to have a sequel, as far as I can tell. There has been no confirmation there's going to be a Belatrio 2, and yet people still talk about it today. People still release videos based off of how fucking batshit addictive this game is. It's still getting content updates. They're still adding different franchises as Easter eggs into Belatrio. I don't necessarily know how I think about it. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. But honestly, I think Belatrio wins this 100%. I think it does. I think it wins. Honestly, I think it does. I don't play but everyone and their fucking mother will not shut up about it. And that is Game of the Year to me. Games for Impact. Okay, I think I kind of did all the... Yeah, I voted everything I feel, for the most part, comfortable voting in. Anything else, I either don't know or I don't care about. Like, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, and then I don't know for these two. But anyway, that is my votes for Game of the Year. I like to think I was extensive in my explanation as to why I think all of these things. Obviously, I did not get to play every single game here, but who realistically gets to do that, you know? I definitely do want to play Metaphor. I mean, Dragon Quest here. My biggest copium is I hope Dragon's Dogma wins something. It's only nominated for RPG, which is unfortunate because it's definitely not gonna win that. But fuck it, I'm gonna try. God damn it, I love that game. I still play it. That's why. I'm playing another playthrough right now on my own, and you know what? It runs so much better than it once did. And it feels so good to play. But I'm extremely biased, of course. But anyway, that's all the time I have for this episode. I hope you're happy with the results. I hope I am too. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope you have a wonderful time. Until next time we meet, I hope you all have a fucking day. Peace.